Generals, gentlemen.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Rise of Nations. Indeed, we have returned to this wonderful old game. We got some pretty good feedback and a pretty good response from our first video, which was pretty awesome, including being plugged by Microsoft Studios.
Yep, as you do.
Just casually.
Just casually doing that, so pretty great. We're happy about that. So we've got a bit of a game here for you, ladies and gentlemen. We have Redbul. He's going to be playing as our
Bantu.
He's our Bantu.
Yep, and it will be Azor as the Inca. And we did actually make a video previously explaining Rise of Nations, so I will also link that in the description and on the annotation if you missed that one and want to actually learn what this game is all about. So, as always, we do see a pretty fast second city. Let's take this time to really explain the different factions in case you guys don't actually know the difference. So Bantu is pretty crazy early game. The main advantage of Bantu is they actually get +1 city limit.
Yep, you do require 1 civic research for that, but yeah, after that you get 1+.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a crazy fast third city coming out of Redbul here. Also, the cities are cheaper. So, as you see, that third city cost him 27. And with cities, you get 10 food and 10 lumber from that. So, actually, it works out cheaper than building a farm. So, like, really, there's no reason not to build a really fast third city as the Bantu. You also then get extra pop cap, but that's not really that relevant just yet. And then military upgrades are free, but not a huge deal. Other than that, though, Inca gets, like, a lot of wealth.
They're pretty strong. So, you get wealth income from your mines, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So not only are you mining metal, you're mining wealth as well. Plus they get a 33% wealth income cap increase.
Commerce cap increase. Yeah, they don't get more income.
Not income, yeah.
Also, you get a refund. Like, for every unit you'd lose, you get a 25% refund. So they're a very high economic faction, especially, like, wealth is the most valuable resource. Because with wealth, it allows you to build scholars for knowledge, but then also you can use it to trade with your marketplace. Also, then you can build a lot of knights, which are pretty much the best unit in the game. So yeah, very strong faction. Let's see if Redbul can really prevent him from making use of that economic powerhouse. So he's got a very fast barracks out. It's actually on the Ancient Age, hasn't teched up just yet. Even got his military before his commerce. So this is a pretty high rush. These are the special units here. They're slightly stronger than slingers, faster to create. So sending one out, there's no attrition this early into the game. You need to actually upgrade that from your tower, which I believe requires Classical Age.
Yes.
Well, at least the upgrade Allegiance does.
Yeah, you got to build it as well.
Yeah,
so,
you can build the tower at Ancient, but I think the upgrade requires Classical. I could be wrong, though.
That's required military one. Though, which I don't think... No, we don't have it yet.
Oh, it's going for Ancient Age.
Going for Ancient Age. Wow. So this is I guess you could
call it
Classical
Age.
a counter. So it's going to be the age upgrade here, going for the Inca. But it's about, can you actually get this done in time? Because there's going to be a lot of these Umakanti.
Don't even try, Blake.
It's just too difficult.
Umpakati. Yeah.
Umpakanti. Okay. Roaming around the map and killing stuff.
Just call them slingers that aren't slingers.
Okay, slingers that aren't slingers are currently going after the merchant.
Nice.
Cool.
And that's the safe pick. That's like finding the small kid in the sandbox and beating him up away from his friends.
Punching him when you're like 20, that is.
Oh, actually, he actually garrisoned his market.
And nicely played.
As a result, he keeps that merchant alive. So that's a nice placement with that marketplace. Pretty clever, actually. Yeah. That's a good tip, I guess, is build your market near your first rare resource. This is pretty standard, though. Like, that the Classical Age rush is standard play, really. I mean, most games of Rise of Nations come down to who gets out, like, you know, the light cavalry, the range cavalry go for that harassment. And we do see, actually, there's more income on the side of Bantu player at Redbul, because he has that third city. But we have a bit of metal coming in. We've got some more wealth because of that caravan. But really, these slingers that are not slingers are actually denying the farm and the woodcutters camp in this second city.
There was a lot of investment into this forward city here. So all the kind of farms and all the workers for the lumber camp were actually running there. So just denying so much income time. Our Inca will be in a good position if he can actually get mining again because he has already hit Classical Age. So.
Yeah, he's been there in a while, but hasn't been able to make much use of it. Hasn't built a university, so he hasn't got much knowledge coming in.
Yeah, there's no mine down.
He's finally now building a stable, but he's got the Umpakare.
No, the slingers aren't slingers. We are green machine.
Okay.
We are green.
Look at these civilians that kicking around. They're not militia. You need to get the upgrade, so they don't really do much. But that kick animation was amazing. But he's kind of drawn them away from the stables. Now the stables has finished. It only has level 1 military, but the light horse is actually the perfect counter to these units.
The slingers that aren't slingers are not going to have a really good time.
God damn it, Blake.
When the light cavalry the light horse actually start rolling out. And they do build fairly quickly. It was a good defense, I think, from Inca, and he kept their merchant alive as well, which is really, really cool. Smart play.
And so you don't actually need like knights, because knights are strong against both light and archers, light infantry and archers, but he only has these light infantry, so not really a huge issue there. And that's actually the stable in response from Redbul.
And the level 2 military as well, which means we might be seeing some infantry upgrades going down, at least for these slingers that aren't slingers.
Okay, so I was gonna say, I was gonna say it's okay though, right? Because the classical age javelineers, they can't possibly be harder to pronounce than Umpakati.
Yeah.
But this time around, it's Yangobadi Umpakati. So like, come on, man. Rise of Natures is trolling us.
They're trolling pretty hard.
So they're now javelineers that aren't javelineers. I think they're javelineers. Goes like
soon they'll be javelineers.
Slingers, javelineers, elite javelineers.
Yes, believe
think?
So. Well, elite pikemen at least. So
that's
elite
true.
Javelineers.
Elite light cavalry as well.
Still
Either way, we got a horse archer here as well as this knight. So the horse archer may go for a flank. There's no tower, so these villages are quite vulnerable. But there are some light horses on the way, more of them, even a knight's being built. University has been placed down for El Azor, our Inca.
How are we going for Mr. Bantu? I mean, he's at classical as well. Not much more to say. There's not really any other big disparities. We just look towards how much has he built up here in terms of farm. Yeah. It's gonna start. It's actually a pretty big difference.
Yeah, that's the power of the Inca. 95 wealth income, so completely towering over the wealth income. And we do see some hoplites being sent. Not really sure why. And I think this ranged cavalry is looking for merchants because he can't really. I mean, he's still going for this base. There's actually a light horse there just zoning away. So.
Until the knight actually takes that one out, the range cavalry can't really do that much.
That's the Senate being placed down. I don't think there's actually been a Senate here for Redbul. No, there isn't. There's no Senate.
What did he go for? The Despot or the
that is the Despot.
Yeah. Okay, no, he's gone the other route.
That's a
bit of knight combat.
Yeah, these bowmen trying to do some harassment. A lot of action with these horses though. 2 knights, horse archer. Denying the temple would be great because that temple will extend the borders quite a fair bit.
Yeah, gonna really force back, and it might actually put much of the forest there for the lumber camp of our Bantu outside of the radius. If you're,
that sucks.
If the wood is actually in your opponent's territory, you can't mine from it. So it'll limit the amount of citizens you can actually have mining from that lumber camp.
We saw a merchant go down. Nice snipe. That's one thing that's really important in Rise of Nations. Not just villager harassment, but also merchant and caravan harassment. Generally, the merchants are much easier to harass. So that's one of the weaknesses of the cataphracts compared to light horses, is that they can't chase infantry. They're the same speed. If it was a light horse, they can damage them on retreat. But we do see not much infantry here from Redbul, just a lot of cavalry units. And these light horses, they're not upgraded. Neither are the hoplites, so... Still on classical age.
Surprised we haven't really seen any more elite pikemen coming out either. So there's the national borders. They expand by a little bit, but not too much. There we go. There's the extension with the additional civic.
Lost one. He lost one woodcutter.
Lost one. It could have been a lot worse than that.
Yeah. So, and now, especially if he gets a religion upgrade, that's going to push him even further and really deny that wood. That's actually another small city. So that's going to continue to harass. The hoplites going for this obsidian merchant. So heavy infantry does the most damage compared to other infantry types.
Looks like we might see another garrison inside the market down the bottom as well. So
he kills it.
In time, yeah.
So like hoplites are best against like pretty much everything other than like archers compared to javelineers. And we actually see another merchant snipe. So really great work both of our players denying those merchants as much as possible. Oh, actually, a fair bit of infantry. We've got 3 hoplites. We've got a couple of bowmen. The city's going to get placed down soon. That's going to really mess up this wood. And looking at the income, we actually see a fair bit more income on the side of Redbul. He's got more food and more wood, but still, the wealth is definitely in the favor of
pretty much double.
Azor. Yeah,
essentially double here.
So that's the Republic government finally
Pretty late here.
We'll give him that
Bantu.
extra commerce cap and the healing as well. The Senator's definitely better defensive because not only do you have the healing and the bribe, you also then get that commerce limit. So it's pretty nice to have. So going for the stable damage. Hasn't upgraded his infantry either.
No. They are still slingers. What do we decide on? Slingers that are better than slingers?
Slingers that are not
Yeah,
slingers.
slingers that are not slingers. Not elite slingers that are not slingers.
Well, I mean,
so-
technically, it would be slingers that are slightly stronger than slingers, whilst faster to create.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can shorten it down, I think.
Yeah, okay, just for everyone's sake. And for the sake of the city, that's actually in range of the stable, so we'll be slowly damaging it, which is cool. Ah, surprise! Knight.
So it looks like Civic upgrade actually came from Redbul, so that pushed his woodcutter's camp back.
Okay. That was it.
Neither player has researched religion yet, which would make a pretty important factor. And I don't think Redbul really has much army to speak of. We see the Cataphract will scout down and kill that spice merchant. And going in with his army, so it's going to force some garrisons here, preventing the mining of those farms and the mountains. Yeah, I think Red Bull really is lacking troops right now.
In a really nice position from the looks of things. Pretty big army coming in.
Let's see if we can muster something. There's no towers either. There's just that city, and it's only a small city, so only with a garrison power of 2. Don't know if he has any attrition either. No, there's no towers.
No, there's no towers. Yeah, there's no towers around the mines.
A 4th city's been built, though.
That's going to be nice. We'll give him something to fall back on. And with no siege factory... Oh, no, siege factory did actually just go down here for our man Azor. So we'll be seeing some catapults coming out soon. Has access to the trebuchets if he actually goes for the upgrade. So that city could be in some pretty big trouble because the catapults can actually set up in the safety of the Inca's own territory and still manage to siege the city.
Yeah, he's trying to repair that stable. And once again, we see this Cataphract getting... Actually, he's not going for the merchant. Oh, there he is now, finally getting the merchant. That's actually a bison, so a lot of food. Granary research decreased as well. And meanwhile, the most important thing, though, is that the medieval age came online here for Azor, the Inca. A lot of villagers are actually rotating over to this 4th city.
Bantu, Redbul, he's also...
he's going to bribe it, nice.
Nice, good bribe.
Well, he doesn't get it because it only has a short radius, but it prevents him from going for the merchant.
Oh,
he may just try and snipe it.
Ah, nicely played.
Yeah, he missed it.
Well, the bribe came out.
So, like, actually, he was actually healing the merchant, but not enough. And just more and more harassment. These are upgraded. They're knights now, so they're going to be taking down the caravans more effectively.
Really good choice as well. There's only 34 wealthy income coming in for our Bantu Redbul. So sniping down those caravans takes away that flat wealth income that's going to be coming in, and that's really what he was relying on. There's just going to be no wealth.
Yeah, and the knowledge here is quite small as a result, and we see... the knights just rolling around, intercepting the caravans, trying to bribe some units. But he's not letting him. He's trying to focus down the senator now. He may actually get it here.
Pretty low. It's going to be cutting away now.
Still the hoplites, so pretty rough spot to be in for Red Bull, our poor Bantu man.
There's not enough upgrades here. Stab's going to be continuously sieged at this point.
He's still ahead in food and wood, though. And he has the extra commerce cap,
yeah,
but
that's true.
These knights are just really wrecking the supply lines.
Yeah, once knights get all up in you, and you don't have a need for supply wagons, they really can.
Oh, the senator though, he may get sniped here. Oh, he loses it.
Down.
Yeah, he doesn't actually get within the garrison either, and so there's no
cool.
farms. He just wants to get this mine up. Looks like he's actually calling the GG. He doesn't really have much left. Yeah, I think maybe it's a bit early to call GG, but realistically, I think if you actually look at the wealth and the knowledge, we would have seen Gunpowder Age come out, and then, yeah, that's really the power of Inca. He got that massive wealth lead, which then resulted in that massive knowledge lead.
Yeah.
Got the medieval really fast. But really nice knight harassment coming out there from Azor.
It was all over those merchants, man.
Yeah.
It was a really good start. That's a pretty standard Bantu start that you're seeing coming out, that like early civic 3 city into like barracks harassment.
Yep.
Which was, cool, but it just didn't end up panning out. And the Inca's obviously going to be ahead because he went for the really quick classical age, and then you just had to kind of stick inside the cities for as long as possible and just wait it out until you had the classical age online and managed to get enough troops on to force the attack back.
I did like the early opener as well here for Redbul. Like, it did actually push him pretty far back.
It was, yeah.
Just by the way, Redbul isn't like a paid promotion. Like,
No.
we're not.
It's his actual name.
We're actually drinking
Yeah.
V and Mother.
Mother.
So just to
to
show
prove it, yeah.
our integrity remains. I would have loved to see a tower come down, one here on the towns, because it makes it a lot harder for the harassment. Also, the attrition would have really helped, because like obviously the despot prevents the attrition, but then the lone knights, the lone cataphracts wouldn't have been able to have as much impact as they did.
Definitely not.
So really should have got that attrition online much earlier than he did. We didn't get it at all. So
Yeah, it was just such a close game that it's hard to warrant spending the money, and like towers take a while to build as well.
Yeah.
But I think it just would have been worth it in the long run to actually get it up so you had the attrition available. But good game nonetheless. It's pretty great.
Good stuff here. So thanks for watching. We are the Generals Gentlemen. Subscribe for more Rise of Nations content, as well as Company of Heroes, Command and Conquer Generals, and rather other RTS things. That's what we do.
Yeah,
It's our thing. It's our niche, if you do use that term. So yeah, other than that, we do have a Patreon if you want to support us and see our channel grow. That is patreon.com/generalsgentlemen. That's it. Thanks.
Cheers, guys. Have a good night.